Speedway. Are you?
Is it soup yet?
Hey, it's time for Thursday Night Soup. Join
It is.
co-host
Hi.
Jeff Kendall and
That's
many
me.
other famous celebrities as we discuss
Yeah, we
music,
do.
movies,
Moose.
and just
Yeah,
plain
we got an
cause
argument
havoc
brewing
across the
already.
internet. And now, get
How
ready.
many of you people
Let's
slurp
welcome
your soup?
Doc Dacus.
I want my Thursday night soup now!
We got the...
Slurp.
Oh, it didn't work. Dang.
I just heard it twice.
Well, I went to hit another thing and it didn't work.
So you hit it twice.
I went to hit
Yeah.
and this was supposed to
Good
happen.
morning, everyone. I hope you've had a good night's sleep because it's time for breakfast.
And it didn't work.
You got a robot behind you.
Nah. Okay. All right. Oh, and hello.
Hi.
You also
Yeah,
got a duck on your wall.
No, you do.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. Ooh.
Frightening.
If you're looking for your remote, I know where it is.
Yes.
Well, that's where I spend a lot of time, over on the couch, so it's right there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. Right behind you. Yeah.
Yeah, and I watched Johnny Quest again for supper, and by golly, didn't they go and shoot a panther in the head?
Doc, it's a cartoon.
I know, but they're showing this to children.
Yeah.
Race gets he shot him twice too. I'm gonna make sure he's dead, Dr. Quest. Look out. Oh, jeez. Oh well. Oh hi. I'm glad you've tuned in. We're going to have all sorts of talk, and we've had an argument going on before we even start. So let me introduce people. Such as Jeff Kendall. He's here.
Hi, Jeff Kendall.
Yeah, this guy named Gurr with a brand new haircut.
Yes.
I have a new perm.
He's very good. Yes.
Okay.
And a guy called Tim Alllen, who's getting kind of fuzzy at the moment.
Well, there was no argument. There was just opinions being stated. There was no argument.
I was going to say, how can you have an argument when we were all agreeing?
Exactly. I don't think there was an argument brewing.
Well, I don't know. Things were getting pretty heated there for a while. And I'm sitting there looking at the clock. I says, I got to start this thing.
I was just trying to create drama.
Yeah, that happens.
So we had drama.
Now, there's one McCartney album I don't like. You know what it's called?
Don't say it. People will hate you.
No, don't say it at all, because we got to tell people what the heck is going on.
Okay.
Before this thing started, I mentioned about it's Paul McCartney's. Well, yesterday it was Paul McCartney.
Yesterday, yeah, he's 83. He's getting up there.
People are doing rankings on YouTube. You know, like here are the rankings of McCartney's not favorite, but his albums. You know, they're ranking them in order and all that kind of stuff. And we're saying, like, we're not going to watch that sort of thing because everybody has got a different idea anyway, and it's all subjective to the person making the video anyway. And then we started opening a can of worms.
Yeah.
So anyway, I says, no, we got to have a show here. So over there, Jeff Kendall was about to say.
Well, I'm just about to say there's one Paul McCartney album I don't like.
Really?
Yeah. And I have to agree. Some people might tend to agree. I'm not crazy about the Broad Street album. The soundtrack.
Mr. Broad Street's coming for you.
Yeah, they're going to die. No more lonely nights. You know.
Oh, wait. Extra person. Okay. Beatle Brad's here.
Beatle Brad.
Here.
Hey, Beatle Brad.
Hi there.
Beatle Brad's here. All right.
Yep, and Opie, because you're saying, Paul's here, Jeff.
Yes.
Did you just call me Opie? Who's Dopey?
I hadn't even got across to over there to say hello to the people in the comment thing.
So I was just going to say, I'll listen to Broad Street before I'll listen to Pipes of Crap and Press to Crap.
You don't like Give My Regards to the Broad on the Street?
Jeff doesn't.
I'm not crazy
Tough
about that
judgment.
one. No.
Yeah,
This is much worse than that.
it's
Come
kind
on.
of grown on me as years have gone on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could remember buying it, and why he has to redo his songs. Why can't he write some new ones? He's a
Because
know,
it was
yeah,
a
really.
movie
songwriter.
soundtrack.
Yeah,
It's not.
well-
It's a movie soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Why is there all this George Martin music in the Beatle movies? Because it's
Yeah.
a movie.
Yeah. Okay.
But I
It's
mean,
true.
That's one album that it's probably one of the first used albums I bought was Broad Street. I never bought it new. I kind of skipped it, and then I went back. God, not that long after, but a couple of years later, and I bought a used copy of it. But yeah, it's not high on my list either. But yeah,
No, it's not high on my list.
it is what it is.
Terrible.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And it's one of the few albums, CDs, where I think the bonus tracks don't add anything. In fact, they might detract.
So just for our audience, for their amusement, we were talking before we came on about ranking, and I made the point that I don't like the best and worst analogy, because who says what's best, who says what's worst, who says what's better, what's not. Like that's very subjective. So I look at favorite and least favorite, and I made the point that often my favorite record has as much to do with the connection to my personal life as it does the music.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, somebody might not think it's that great an album, but I might like it because of how, what place it held in my personal life. Maybe it's something my mom gave me as a gift, for example.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Like, so that that's people need to understand that when you're doing stuff like that, it always comes down to a personal connection that others don't share. So they're not going to have the same memory of it or the same feelings about it. So that's
younger people doing these lists, because if they have a personal connection at all, it's with the newer albums.
Yeah.
And not the older albums. It's fine, but they dismiss some of the 70s albums because they weren't there, and they were 30 years old.
It's like a lot of people. I remember buying Broad Street when it came out, when the movie came out, and all of that, and all the stuff that was on, Entertainment Tonight and MTV and all this stuff. There was a lot to go. I mean, Paul really promoted that album as poorly as it did. Man, he promoted it, but
I think he promoted the movie. I don't think he was really promoting the album. I think he was promoting the film.
Yeah.
He did a lot of promotion anyway.
But it's like, MTV, they had the car, in the studio at one time. And stuff like that. It's just like you said, Paul. It's memories. So, it doesn't rank as the best album ever, but it means something because you kind of remember it more in that regards to Broad Street.
Just an example. Like, my favorite Guess Who album is number 10, and I think most Guess Who fans will say it's a really good album, but not many of them would rank it as their favorite. But it was my favorite because of the circumstances where I bought it and when I bought it and all of that sort of stuff. And I was visiting my sister who was in university, and I went to Records on Wheels, which is an old defunct store. And with I saved up all my allowance money. I was only like,
all that.
It's only like 13 or 14, right? So, so I went and I bought it, and I bought the Best of the Guess Who Volume 2, and I bought those two records together. So I always have that memory, and my sister's connected to it, and all of this stuff. So that's why. That's one. Well, it's not the only reason, because I think it's really good music. On that.
All those hours spent babysitting got you that album.
Yeah,
so that's why it's one of your more favorite ones, because all the trials and tribulations that you went through.
All those hours standing on the corner with a tin cup, but that's another story. But see, that's a big reason why that's my favorite Guess Who album. It's not the only reason, but it is a big reason. It's a big part of it. So everybody's going to
Yeah.
have their own personal connections, and other, like I said, most Guess Who fans would not pick that as their favorite Guess Who album, right? But that's fine.
Yeah.
Partial to greatest hits, so don't sue me.
Yeah, my favorite McCartney album is Back to the Egg, and while I love the music on it, the night before it came out, it was this radio station in Binghamton, New York called WAAL, and they played the Midnight LP, and they played Back to the Egg in its entirety, and I taped it, and I spent all night listening to it. I knew every word to every song before I went to school the next morning.
Wow.
And then after school,
Hey, Robert.
there's this little shortcut through this hole cut in a fence that led to this department store called Danny Discount. And I went to Danny Discount and bought it on my way home from school. And as soon as I got home, I put it on, and it's been my favorite ever since. You know,
Ollie.
Back to the Egg is crap.
Back to the Egg is not. It's Back to the Egg. It's back to his roots. That was the whole point of that album.
It's a great rocker of an album.
I think he laid an egg with that album.
No.
Oh, man, that's my favorite. It will always be my favorite.
Honestly, I've never liked that album. I've never warmed.
Really?
I never have. So
Marty was rocking again after London Town, which he just wimped out on.
Yeah.
Well, you see, there you go. Like, for you, it has a different memory than it does for me. So that's fair enough. That's what I'm talking about.
So the
Like Rocker Scrub, that's a great song.
Oh, good.
I was never at one with that album.
I thought it was a great
Who
album.
listens to the Professor of Rock? He doesn't know anything.
Oh no.
He'll take the same video and put a different thumbnail to it and call it new.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good album. I wish the hits off of it would have been bigger, like Arrow Through Me and Getting Closer, and I think they should have been a lot bigger than they were, like top 20.
Peter, the last time
I don't know why.
The last time I played Back to the Egg, Peter, my stereo blew up. Just saying.
I think the thing is, disco was so big at the time, and McCartney does a rock album in the height of disco, and it didn't do as well as it could have.
Well, I was just into other things then too. You know, like it just wasn't. And I really liked London Town, and I didn't like the direction he was going with Back to the Egg. So that I can remember thinking about at the time.
I thought London Town was just wimpy. I thought most of it was just wimpy, and I
really liked it. To me, it was a deep listening album. I really liked it.
Yeah, but most albums seem to they follow a little direction, and the subsequent albums aren't as good as the one before and the one before. And
all personal.
Very different direction with Back to the Egg.
Yeah,
personal tastes, you know.
At least you didn't pick the Fireman or something like that.
Fireman.
I
like Twin Freaks. I think Twin Freaks is a great album. I really enjoy that one.
Which one?
Twin Freaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that is. I kind of like it too. I've got it.
Yeah, I really like that album.
Yeah. But I mean, like Egypt Station, I think that's a terrific album.
I don't know. A lot of people don't like it.
That might be his worst. That's either worst or second worst. I'm not kidding.
I like the three record edition of it because I think that extra record is some of the best songs on it.
Yeah, I do too. Frank Sinatra's Party.
It's the album that should have been in the first place.
That's a pretty good album.
Matthew Smith kind of agrees with you, Tim.
I mean, new is pretty good also.
Well, I got back into McCartney because of that album. That's one of my favorite albums by him.
New is good.
Like Gordon Lightfoot sings Back to the Egg.
Yeah, new's really good.
Mr. Beale likes Eggs, but nobody likes Uncle Beale.
No.
Uncle Beale.
Yeah.
Uncle Beale.
So. I
never liked that either.
And I'm probably the only one here who likes Press to Play. So.
You probably okay. For driving rain.
Barf to Play.
Yeah, I won't say anything because everybody hates it.
Well, see, everybody's got a different opinion. I like flowers in the dirt.
Yeah, I like flowers in the dirt. And everybody slams Driving Rain or whatever the heck. I don't mind that album. I played it and I think
Driving Rain's actually good too.
I don't mind it.
No, I to me it's all dirges. He's supposed to be in love. He's lost his wife. He's found a new love, and it's all dirges. And I'm like, why aren't you happy?
You're going through
you're supposed to be happy, and you're not.
Argument? I don't think anybody ever counts that.
How did we ever get on this topic anyway?
I don't know.
His birthday yesterday.
But you mentioned flowers in the dirt. I mean, for me, that's a memory because that's when I first started seeing Paul in concert. Was that when he started in '89?
Yeah. I think Flowers in the Dirt is his second best album of the '80s, but that's not saying all that much.
Fair. That's probably fair. Well, it's not saying that much, but it's a fair comment. It is a really good album.
Yeah. And is anybody going to bring up Thrillington?
Anybody going to bring what?
Thrillington.
Wow.
I like Thrillington. Nobody counts that in his catalog. Probably because he's not really on it. He just it's the Mike Sam singers and an orchestra.
You have to include like Family Way, his Family
he's
Way.
Being Brian Wilson. That's his Brian Wilson album, really. That's him just in the studio putting together what's in his head. But I like it. I actually like Thrillington a lot, actually.
These are my favorites. I like Thrillington a lot, but I mean, most people wouldn't count it as a McCartney album.
No, because if you count that, then you got to count the classical albums and the Family Way.
Well, I haven't got all the
Electronic Arguments and all the Fireman albums. You got to count all that because.
Yeah. Well, I've got most of the classical albums. I don't listen to them much, but I don't mind them. They're kind of nice to put on.
Yeah. They're not bad.
I don't have Liverpool Oratorio. I don't have the first one he did, but I think I got.
Get out! Get out!
Well, I've got the other one. So.
I'm not ready for that stuff.
I just haven't seen it in the wild. When I see it, I'll buy it, but I just haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I like McCartney's Tub of Crap album.
Tub of Crap album.
Tub of Crap.
Oh.
What? Hey, wait a minute.
And see, for an album, people love this album, and I just don't care for it. It does nothing for me for some reason, and everybody gets mad at me. But I just don't like Wildlife.
Oh, Wildlife.
I like
that.
Yeah,
you gotta get I love garage rock, and Wildlife is a garage rock album.
It just doesn't do anything for me.
He just recorded it quickly, and I like it. An album I don't like that a lot of people love and I don't get is A Memory Almost Full. I don't like Memory Almost Full. First time I played it, I went, oh. I like the first two tracks on it, and then that's about it.
Isn't that the one with Mama Only Knows?
Yeah, I don't like Mama Only Knows.
Yeah.
I don't think he can sing it. He's straining so hard to sing that song, it bothers me.
I like Barbara Jeff said "ew" or something like that, or that was great.
I don't know. Mama Only Knows, but I mean that song out of 10 or whatever.
Yeah, my wife used to read the Daily Mail, so I have a Daily Mail copy of Memory Almost Full.
Yeah, that's a neat one to get.
Yeah.
What's that, like a giveaway in the newspaper?
Yeah, in the free. Yeah, they used to give away free CDs. Interesting stuff, and they have a free. I guess it wasn't selling or whatever, so they gave away a Paul McCartney album.
It was kind of like a promo,
Yeah, they made a deal because back then those counted as sales.
Yeah.
So, well, if McCartney wanted his album to chart in England, he would put it in the Daily Mail and give it away, and every one of those papers counted as an album sale.
Yeah.
Which was kind of a clever marketing idea.
Yeah. Well, U2 ended that. That's when that ended. When U2 put their album on everybody's phone, and you didn't even have a choice because they all counted as sales.
Really?
I didn't buy it.
That's when they said, okay, we're not going to count this as sales anymore.
I didn't get it.
Huh.
Yeah, I got it on my iTunes.
Well, if you got an Apple phone, you got the YouTube.
But I didn't mind because I like U2 anyway, so no.
Because when Egypt Station came out, all of a sudden there were copies everywhere for free.
Yeah.
You know, like people were giving me them, like, hey, you want this? And next thing you know, like I got 5 copies of Egypt Station.
Yeah, they were. They were giving
all these. Jeez. So I don't know. When it comes to McCartney, giveaways, I guess, is the way to go.
Yeah, it's better giveaways than that than getting a giveaway of Yoko albums or something, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are the ones you.
Where's mine?
Those are the ones you re-gift, Brad.
Wrap them up.
How to,
if you can.
How to lose friends real quickly by re-gifting.
Yeah. Chaos and Creation. Now, Lee heard it was good, but
yeah, I think it's really good.
Well,
I think what makes that album good was the producer pushed him. You challenged Paul, and I think with Paul, you need somebody doing that.
Yeah,
he comes up with his best work when he's being challenged. You know.
Yeah.
I think that's he never went back to that producer because I think he
didn't enjoy the experience, but
he didn't. But it was the best thing
it's
for
in my
him.
top 5 probably. It's the latest album of the albums in the 2000s. It's the only one that would be even in my top 10 probably.
It's the best. He did the best thing for Paul by doing that. He came out with a really good.
He also
album.
limited the instruments he played. He's like, okay, whatever bass you play, that's going to be on all the tracks. Pick one guitar, one keyboard, drums. That's it. He's like, I don't want varied sound. I want this album to have one continuous sound. Paul didn't like that either, but he did it. And it
in a lot of ways, it's not the same, feeling to it, but it's a lot like the John Lennon's Plastic Ono Band album. It's just kind of stripped down. And it's not, like it's just him, and that's
and he wanted his band too.
Have a lot.
Nigel, what's the guy's last name? His first name is Nigel. But he's like, no, we're gonna do this solo, and off they went.
Yeah, those two albums have a lot in common.
I like stuff that he did with Elvis Costello because that seemed to have kind of, got him to think outside the box for Paul.
Yeah. Well, it's Flowers in the Dirt, right? Where it's that.
Flowers in the Dirt. Some of the songs wound up on Off the Ground too, and Elvis took some too. And Elvis wasn't going to take any. They were all for Paul. And then Paul did 2 albums, and all these songs left. And Elvis was like, "Well, Paul's not going to do them."
It's like the song Veronica for Elvis Costello. I think that's one of the best songs he ever did.
Yeah, that is a good song.
That's a great song.
Yeah.
But is anybody going to count like Run Devil Run or anything like that?
It's hard to.
Great as it might be, are you going to rank that?
Well, see, I don't care if you wrote the song or not. Yeah. To me, that has no bearing on if an album's good or not. You can do an all covers album, and it can be as good as your other albums. He did a good job. Everybody always ranks Kisses on the Bottom really low. I think Kisses on the Bottom is a really good album, actually.
It's not bad.
So I kind of rank it with Sentimental Journey, right? Same kind of album.
Well, but Paul's actually singing songs that he can sing on that album.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, you gotta love Old Siam, sir. Back to the egg again.
But I mean, for even video wise, I mean, Paul did almost, except for 3 songs, he did videos for every one of those on Back to the Egg, and it's great. I mean, that'd be neat if it, just you could find 3 more videos that would fill it out and kind of make it a video. I don't know if you've ever seen that Tim.
No, I have, and I think he did. I think there were different I remember seeing that twice on TV, and both versions were different. I think
Yeah,
he
they
did
are.
do a video for every song, and they're out there, and they're just not. Nobody's ever put them all in one place. I think every song has a video.
Yeah.
Sounds
think
like
it's
an
a great
idea for Christmas. Paul, are you listening?
Yeah, really.
Yeah. All the videos all in one place and in 4K.
Well, Paul did his
3D.
video thing, and it was so disappointing because there's so much left out. He only put like an hour and 20 minutes on each DVD, and you could put 3 hours on a DVD. So you only get like 25 or 30 videos total, and he's got so many more he could have put out.
And he leaves it open to the bootleggers to come out with a better DVD
too. And some of the video, and he did multiple versions of some videos, and some of his best videos aren't even on it,
McCartney stuff is all great. Now do Ringo.
No, do Ringo.
You'll get my cowboy hat first.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw my first Tim Allen video yesterday. He spent $50 and bought lots of CDs. He got some great Beatles bootlegs. I saw him on the screen. He was standing with bootlegs in his hand.
Wow.
Wow. Well, thank you. That was a couple of years ago. That's one of my best finds ever. Was all these dollar Beatle. I don't even know what you call them. They were bootlegs, but they're like audiophile Beatle Beatle bootlegs.
Oh wow, that'd be neat.
You never saw those, Brad?
I was gonna say, I'm now thinking about it, I bet you I've seen that.
Yeah.
Dr. Abbott's stuff? Like Dr.
Oh, now I bet you did. You made Tim
I didn't
leave.
get every album, but I got most of them. And they were all $1 a piece. He still got the price tag on the
Oh yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
They all came in these bags, which is really nice.
Yeah, you bought a whole bunch of them. I remember that video.
They're like audiophile copies.
Yeah, okay, I remember this video now.
They took the stereo and the mono and mixed them together to give you like vocals in the center and still stereo, and there's a master version, and each one is a 2-record set with a DVD, and the DVD has a 5.1 surround version of it.
Yeah.
And they're really nice for $1 a piece.
Yeah.
And they sound great. And when I'm putting a song from a Beatle album on a CD, most of the time I'll go for these. This is the version I'll use because they just
I'd buy that for $1.
This sounds great. And like I said, I didn't get them all, but I bought everything they had, and it was it was probably 70% of their albums I got.
That's pretty neat, though. Yeah, I remember that video.
I'll rubber piece of
that's what he's talking about.
Yeah,
they're pretty cool.
You give you $2. $2.
And I got other cool CDs that day too. I got Blondie's "Eat to the Beat" with the DVD, like the Back to the Egg one at the same time. They did a video for every song on and they put out a special on "Eat to the Beat," and that there was a edition that came out with the DVD, and I got that for $1. I've been looking for that for years, and I go to my thrift store and I find it for $1. I'm like,
oh gosh,
wow. Right there.
Tim, did you know that when they did the first pressings of the Blondie albums in the UK, every single Blondie album came with posters?
Oh wow!
Really?
Yeah. And I've always wanted. I've seen them on like eBay, but they're like $75 now. So it's like, forget that. But yeah, first pressings of all the Blondie albums, each one had posters of her and the band, or maybe just her. And I mean, they're really big posters. It's really pretty cool. But they're UK pressings.
Are those CDs, Dr. Abbott? I didn't know if they were. They could be. I don't know. But
He's out there cold and wet and camping. Next week, 100 degrees. Well,
Yeah.
but anyway, they sound really good.
Yeah,
You have to
Robert's
build
gonna
a
be.
fire.
he was drenched earlier this week, but after today, he's going to boil.
It'll be hot.
He's going to supposed to get up to 90 something degrees.
So I'm wondering, did anybody bring any MoFi albums or stuff to the show tonight?
I don't have any.
No,
Well, I got
no.
the Abbey Road, and I don't want to encourage people to buy that.
Because I know we talked about doing Mo Fidelity albums, and I brought some, so I didn't know if anybody else did.
No, I forgot about that.
Ooh, stay safe, Robert.
Oh, what? Jeff knows all about tornadoes.
Oh, yes. Stay safe.
Yes.
3 miles from the house. Yes.
I got some high fidelity, like they're not MoFi specifically, but I do
Are
have
they 85?
kind of.
I have
they-
some.
high
85?
fidelity.
Full
I
5?
don't have anything like that myself.
Foam? We'll take even foam.
Mo Furley.
Wow.
Those kind
Before
of
we do
MoFis.
that, should we maybe do what we've all picked up, kind of thing?
Our new stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to go first? Who wants to go first?
Who's on first?
Yeah. Looks like Jeff wants to go first.
I'm first.
Yeah, you can go first.
Okay, I'm first. Let me get the cat out of the way. Okay.
Oh.
First item, I got this one. This is another
Got a new
bargain from no. I got this one on eBay for $4. I like picking up 60s groups, and this is the very best of the group, the Buckinghams.
Oh, wow.
It was $4.
Mercy.
And I got my Father's Day present in, and I really like this. Really like this book. It just came out a couple of months ago. It's called Elevated Observations, the Graham Nash Years. And it's basically a reference book of all of the Graham Nash years. Here's a bunch of picture sleeves and everything. And
That's nice.
to actually be a big Hollies fan, you have to get their English hits too, because before they cracked the American top 40, they were in the British top 40 for 9 times and won. A lot of people don't know, but the Hollies, one of their top 40 hits in England was a Beatles song, and it was this one.
Ooh, George was
Really?
so
George,
Yeah.
yes,
I-
George
I
was.
have that.
Yeah, and George was upset at them, and they were upset at George. But this is a really good. They were fighting with George.
I didn't know that one.
And a lot of different. I'll show you some other stuff. Here is the
Great centerfold, too.
yes. Stop, and for pause. Yeah, and then one of my favorite albums is coming up, and it's Butterfly. This is the last album that Graham Nash have anything to do with, but this goes into a lot of detail. The Graham Nash years. There's enough Hollies songs in the can to make like a Hollies anthology.
That's neat.
It's a really good read. I really enjoy it. It's also got a list of all their television appearances and BBC radio and all that sort of stuff. So
Wow, you got it read already?
I read it about a couple of times already.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow.
Really good book.
Wow.
Oh, you got one of those too. Yes,
It has.
it is called. What's it
If I
called?
needed someone.
Oh
If
yeah,
I
yeah.
Needed-
That's the single. Yeah, and I don't
Yeah.
like that. That's on that British Hollies hits collection I have, and I do not like their version of it.
It's okay. It's not as
Yeah.
good as the Beatles, but it's,
Yeah.
if you'd never heard the Beatles, you'd like it more.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not. It's not as good as the Beatles.
Mhm.
Yeah. I have this. I've shown this before. This is a great box. It's
Yeah.
45 box of
Mm-hmm.
singles that should have come out by the Hollies and rare ones
Yeah.
that actually did.
Mm-hmm.
That's neat. That's a nice
Yeah.
set.
You're making Jeff very jealous.
Yeah.
That'll be on his
Yeah.
shopping list tomorrow.
Yeah. No, I want to get that those 5 more albums. You know, I got the second 5 albums. I want to get the first one, the original album series, the early days. You know.
just in case you were going to do something else.
Mhm.
I don't know.
But this is a really great book.
Not till it's my turn.
And-
Jeff,
and it-
I saw today. I don't know. Do you have any Big Lots near you?
There's a couple in
Not
Oklahoma
Big Lots,
City.
excuse me, Ollie's.
Ollie's? I don't know. I don't think so. No.
Okay, because I went to Ollie's today, and I didn't even know Graham Nash was a photographer, but there's
Yeah.
a really thick Graham Nash photography book for like $7.
Mhm.
Really?
I mean,
Mhm.
probably 400 pages.
Yeah, he was a photographer before he was a musician. Yeah.
Yeah, he did a lot of
So-
stuff. Yeah. Yep.
So
Mhm.
I saw. I didn't buy it, but I did see it. They had a bunch of them. So if I wanted,
Yeah.
I can go.
Look, Paulina is here. Hello, Paulina. She keeps forgetting about how George thrashed on the Hollies cover of it.
Yeah.
And every time I make the argument how negative and unzen Harrison really is.
Mhm.
Well, I just finished reading his book, and yeah, it did not increase my opinion of him, to be honest.
Not a lot of zen there.
Mhm.
Between
How
that and the George
unbelievable.
Harrison book you just got done reading too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. That book is just, I mean, it doesn't hate on him. I think it's telling the truth. I really do, but it's truth isn't always flattering.
Yeah.
Well, the lead singer of the Hollies was named Alan Clark until 2001, and then of course Graham Nash did harmonies until '68, and he left. So
Well, Graham
I
Nash
got
sang
this
a
time
few.
one of my
Graham
hobbies.
Nash sang a few leads before he left, and that's why he left. I think he wanted
Oh,
to
yeah.
be the lead.
Well, he wanted to-
I've seen him interviewed on that, and he wanted to get into more cerebral type of music. and
yeah, yeah.
Ready for that at that time. So Crosby and Stills were perfect for him.
Hmm.
They offered exactly what he wanted to do.
Yeah, he gave them a demo, played a demo of his new song "Marrakesh Express,"
Yeah,
and
they
the
didn't want,
Hollies rejected it.
yeah, they didn't want to do it.
Shame, shame.
So,
He
yeah.
wanted to take them in a
Mhm.
more progressive direction. They
Yeah.
didn't want to go there.
Didn't want to do the album of Dylan songs, although I like it. It's a pretty good album.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I don't blame him for that. To be
Mhm.
honest,
Yeah.
it's okay. It's not. It's not.
Mhm.
Who's next?
Oh, for new stuff?
Yeah,
New stuff. Yeah. Who is new stuff?
Who's got new stuff?
I got new stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Gur's next.
I got one new stuff.
Okay.
Okay. New stuff from Gur.
One new stuff.
Oh, you got it.
Oh, you got it. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Actually, right,
Yay.
after we went off the air.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There's the guys.
Did you play that, or are you saving it for your yacht?
Rock music, go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a hype sticker.
Yeah. One of my favorite Holly songs. Graham did. Yeah.
That's really a nice album.
Mhm.
And
Gatefold.
Beatle Brad's here.
Yay.
Oh.
Ooh, it's like bubble gum.
Wow.
It's kind of a pale blue.
And it's on both sides.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So yeah, and I would it's because Michael McDonald's back with them, and so it's not really like anything they've done before, in my opinion. It's got elements of what they did before,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not really like what they did before, because I didn't like the Michael McDonald era at all, but I love the Tom Johnson era. And it seems they're a little more of an alchemy now, where there's more of a blend of the two styles coming through. Now, having said that, the stuff that Tom Johnson does on this album are my favorite tracks, because I really like what he does. He does rock well. He does funky rock well. I just like that style of music. And Michael McDonald, I never did like his voice. He always sounds like he's singing with cotton balls in his mouth, and he still sounds that way to me. Sorry, I don't want to offend you, but that's the way
I can hear his voice fading too. I just heard the first track.
Well, I'll tell you whose voice
thought
is
his
fading
voice
more is Pat Simmons' voice is quite weak compared to what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think of all of the three singers, Pat Simmons is the one that I found has kind of slipped the most in terms of his
Mhm.
vocal range and abilities. He's starting to sound like an old man. You know, he's got starting to get that old man's voice. Tom Johnson, fantastic. He can still sing like he used to.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. And Michael McDonald has slipped a little bit too.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think if you like, regardless of what era the doobies you like, I think you'll like this because it's reminiscent of both the Johnson and McDonald eras, but it's not like those two eras. It's more of a blend of those two eras, and I think it works well. And they're older too, so it's maybe more appropriate that they get into a little more softer, funkier type of music. So anyway, that's it. That's what I got new.
And Burton Cummings is on that album too.
He is?
Yeah, sitting there in the front.
No, that's Tom Johnson.
Oh my
Okay.
Jeez.
Oops.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
Doc, you're out of here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually Burt Reynolds, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Doc, you're out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay. Who's next?
Am I next?
That's a
great album. It is.
Great album.
Yeah, I got the two CDs set. I love it.
Second favorite album of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did my homework, so this really isn't new, but I mean, I'm doing MoFi's.
Ooh. Okay, Moody's.
This is phenomenal sounding.
See, I got some of those too I can show, but you go ahead.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's that one.
Mm-hmm.
This one.
Oh, I bet that one sounds phenomenal.
This is my go-to whenever I listen to Pink Floyd. I've got several Pink Floyds, but this is fantastic.
Yeah.
That one sends you into a different state.
And actually, this one's actually pretty good as a MoFi.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Elvis Parsley from the frozen food section.
That's not Elvis Costello, is it?
Yeah, Elvis Costello.
Another guy.
Another Moody Blues.
Oh, yes. Is that the extended one or the original one?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the.
So you got a few Moody Blues ones.
Yeah, it's the original one. Yeah. So
okay.
I know the extended one you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there's this one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, George.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. George Benson.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good.
And actually, I like this one. This one actually came with a warning saying it's got the paperwork within it, but this is a
Don't
classic.
drop me. That's the warning.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it's the 1812 overture, and it says, it will blow your speakers, so you've got to be careful. Because when the howitzer cannons go off,
yeah,
it's great. And I love playing this up really loud and then opening up the windows, and the neighbors freak out when they hear the cannons.
That's a good one to use as an alarm clock.
Yeah.
Good morning.
This is Paul's favorite.
Oh, okay.
I got all my the stickers and all the stuff that goes with it. So that's kind
I got over 1,000 pressings of the album, and that's the worst one.
This sounds phenomenal.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's okay if I keep showing these, or
no?
Go ahead.
Beatle Brad there. Oh my God, I'm gonna meet Beatle Brad. I got.
Okay.
I have to get that in.
Rubber Soul.
Oh.
I mean, seriously, you ought to look. These are really going up in price, and they're just unbelievable. Well,
I don't think it's justified either because they're not sounding that good.
They're really something though. This one's really good.
We were comparing them to the American pressings, and the American pressings sound pretty poor compared to these.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So
got a couple more, and then I'll quit.
Okay.
That's supposed to be the worst one.
Really?
Yeah. They use
good.
the American Master, which God, why?
I tell you, what's better sounding on this one is the Canadian pressing.
Oh, we do records great.
Well, Canada had both mono and stereo pressings of that album.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
We did an
Hold on a
American
minute.
too.
I used to have
Nice.
that. Not a MoFi, but yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a what is that? I'm kind of going into a different category
That's
here.
like 70s, right? Late 70s.
Yeah, easy listening.
Yeah, and these are kind of like MoFi, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
VS, very silly.
Yeah,
Oh, via VSOP.
kind of like. And then I just threw these in to show them because they kind of were competition with MoFis, were these super discs.
Just good jazz, yeah.
Super disc.
Is that the same as Flexi Disc?
That's super disc.
Yeah, I got a super disc I'm going to show as well.
There's super disc. This
There
is
we
great.
go. Oh yeah, I like that one.
Really good sounding. If I get the
Mm-hmm.
glare out, but that's great sounding.
I haven't heard that one.
Super Disc, the one that you're supposed to have a decoder, otherwise they sound like crap. One of
Yeah.
those were you had to get a special piece of equipment.
That's a super disc.
I never noticed that.
MoFi.
Yeah,
or
they were
whatever.
EQ'd differently. They were EQ'd for a certain piece of equipment, and if you didn't have it,
Oh, okay.
That one's hard to get.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Pricey too.
And is it really Super Disc?
That's
Yes.
the one on the gold CD.
Wow.
Yeah, but see, I've got this in my player, but it comes with two of them, and the other one's Yellow Submarine. But yeah, that's really good sounding. But anyway, those are the MoFi ones. I didn't show what I got for new. I mean, I could go get what I bought new, but I was on the MoFi stuff because that's what we were showing. And I thought,
Mm-hmm. Looks good. Good stuff.
Ah,
Who's that guy?
I just wanted to show something just because of
Okay.
things. Look, it's
Whoa.
down the very best.
Yeah.
oh wow,
CDs. Yes.
And I found this last year and I went, oh, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all those good titles on there. Look at all
Yeah.
that.
there's a lot of good titles on there.
There's very many very good titles. And I'm going like, well, how come all the other best of Jackson Browns that I've ever found
Or
is
one.
2 or 3 hits and all the rest is like I never heard of it. But this is comprehensive, people.
Mm-hmm.
Comprehensive. So if you happen to see this out there, buy it. I beseech you.
That's a big word, though. Comprehensive.
I know it, but I can't spell it. Don't make me.
Too many syllables.
Okay. Got
Did
that over.
Tim have anything new?
Anything new,
I
Tim?
do. But Doc skips me every week, so I'm not really.
Well, I got
surprised.
more. You do
Go ahead, Tim.
I have some MoFi things, but you do yours first. 'Cause
Go ahead.
I want to see what you got.
Well, there's a story that goes with this, but I'm just going to show. I got 3 CDs and some singles. I picked
Mhm.
this up just because you don't.
Oh, that's
see,
no reason to cry. Yeah,
You don't see this album, especially on
no,
CD.
you'd never hear about it either. Yeah,
No,
Who is
you
it?
don't see this album. So
often.
pick that up. Pick the Essential Sun. I have so much Sun, Johnny Cat. I probably have every song 10 times. On
He
Sun.
does, son.
But when I see them, I pick them up, especially when they're on a decent label like
Especially when they're $1.
Verisay or however you pronounce it. So I
Yeah.
pick that up, and they always do the Sun label, which is nice.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And I picked this up again, just for
Yeah.
that's a
don't
good
see
one.
it. You don't see it that often, and so I picked
Got that on
up.
vinyl. It's a good
And then-
album.
Then I got some 45s, a lot of reissues and some tons of my thrift store got in 45s, mostly 80s stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not very into the 80s, but some oldies and stuff. I picked up this on Flashback.
Oh, that's a
okay.
great 80s record.
What's on the other side? It's a double-sided hit. 44 Blues. Oh, good, good. Yeah, the double-sided hit.
Double-sided Stone Soul
Yeah.
Picnic and Wedding Bell Blues by the Fifth Dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up I'm trying to see which is this is the A side. Talking in Your Sleep by the Romantics.
Oh,
I
good.
don't really
Yeah.
like that song that much, but I am a Romantics fan, and the B-side's probably better as far as I'm concerned. But
Everybody should have some romance in their life.
For sure.
and, God, I wish it was lighter in here. I can't even see what this is.
It's black.
You guys have to tell me what this is.
Let's see. Don't ever look back. Bo Donaldson and the Haywoods.
Oh, okay. Okay. So then you probably know the A side then. Billy Don't Be
Billy
Hero.
Don't Be a Hero. Yeah, yeah.
I don't think I have on 45, believe it or not. So
wow.
I was pretty happy to get that.
What a way to go. You got Don't Look Back, and then you had Romance before that. So that's kind of a great combo.
And Thomas Dolby, She Blinded Me with Science. I didn't have that on 45.
Science.
Yeah.
Great video.
And, what else? Hang on. God, I wish I had more light in here because I really can't. I don't know what this is. I can't see it. I can see it on my screen.
Something Osmond.
Open your.
I want to. Sammy Davis. I want to be happy.
Yeah. I'll bet the other side.
Okay, then this is going to be the A side, whatever this is.
The Candyman.
Oh, wow.
The Candyman, Sammy Davis Jr. There we go.
Yeah, they play that one on Ski Lodge a lot.
He's been listening to Ski Lodge a lot. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's a big
This
tree.
I've never seen this 45. I only have this on a K-Tel album. David Goodis, his second single, the last game of the season, his second hit.
Mm-hmm.
The next one, Run Joey Run.
Dixie Cup.
Okay.
Apple of Love.
He's everywhere.
And People Say, a double-sided hit.
That's neat.
I did not ever have this single, and I'm really glad I have. I've always wanted it because it's probably my favorite Supreme song, "The Happening" by the Supremes.
Okay, yeah, movie
theme.
yeah.
45.
Mm-hmm.
What's that from a movie?
Yeah, movie theme.
To me, it's the Supremes doing Burt Bacharach. He has nothing to do with it, but it sounds like a Burt Bacharach song.
Yeah,
It does, yeah.
No, it's written by the same guy who wrote the theme song for My Three Sons.
Really?
Yep.
That's why it sounds like
Respect, just a little bit.
You might have heard of Respect, Aretha.
That's a real.
These are all nice condition too. I haven't been showing any of the rock. I haven't cleaned them yet, but they're not beat like they usually are.
Is that a reissue Atlantic or is that an early one?
I'm guessing it's probably a reissue, but it's hard to tell.
I'm just going by the label, right?
It's a pretty dark label, so it might be an original.
Yeah, I don't know what the original Atlantic labels look like, so it's just
By 67, they pretty much look like that, I think. So it's hard to tell. This was cool. I have both the songs on 45, but this is a really nice shape. There are two top 40 hits, Steelers Wheel.
Oh, okay.
Jerry Rafferty.
Star on the other side. Yeah, it's good.
Wow. Star, both their hits on 145.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
Pretty cool.
I love Jerry Rafferty.
He
started out with Billy Connolly. They were a duo.
Yeah, the Humble Bums.
Yeah, the Humble Bums, exactly.
I can't see this one either. What is it?
Albert Hammond, It Never Rains in Southern California.
Yeah,
I used to have that single myself.
Yeah. Good tune.
Good song.
Whatever the B side is.
Sugar by the Archies.
Sugar.
Oh, Sugar by the Archies. There we go. That's probably why I bought it. I actually have Another Rains in California. I have Sugar, but this is in much better condition. And I already have this, but it was in a picture sleeve. It's not the best picture sleeve, but it's in nice shape otherwise.
Okay.
Elvis Costello, Veronica.
Speaking of him.
That's a great song.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely an underrated song of his.
Yeah.
And the B side is this weird version of You're No Good. And he was getting back at Linda Ronstadt. He was getting tired of her covering all of his songs at this point. So he does this terrible version of You're No Good. And then finally the money starts rolling in from all her covers, and he apologized. It was was a big thing. And
Right.
Her version of
I
You Know
like
Good.
Linda. She's nice because, but anyway, the story
Yeah.
of all of these is, so I bring all these up, and there's this new younger girl who really like my choices of CDs, by the way, behind the counter. And she looks and she's typing something in, and then she looks and she starts to count the 45s. She goes, "I'll just do that." And I don't know if you guys can see this. This is my receipt for everything.
$6.
No,
Oh, okay.
that's the
10. Okay.
change.
Oh,
$3.22
$3.22.
is all she charged me for all of that.
Well, that's a bargain to me. Yeah.
Wholesale final though. Don't you dare bring it back.
It should have been at their current pricing. It should have been about $12 in tax, and she charged me $3.22.
Well, you know, the least you could do is take her out to dinner.
Sure.
I doubt she'd want to go out to dinner with me.
Well, I don't know. I think she's trying to make a move on you there.
You
But
would have
Yeah.
Well, anyway, she just didn't want to count the 45. She started counting them, and then she's like, "I'll just do this." And there
Taco
you go.
Bell's looking
And then
pretty
she tells
good.
me she tells me the amount, and I'm like, "The CDs are $1.99. How is the whole thing?"
She charged you for one.
I just, yeah. Whatever.
Just say thank you.
Anyway, that's it. I don't need to be big anymore.
By the way, Paulina, thanks for helping out with all the questions.
can I show my my MoFi stuff now?
Go ahead.
Yes, please.
If Professor Rob
Brad's
joins you
feeling
guys,
lonely.
say to him, get out, get out.
Yeah.
I was good at answering.
I would say I like what you do. Keep doing more.
Talking. So
Because I do like what he does. I like trying to guess what he's talking about. And I'm usually
Yeah, but I'm not gonna click on it to find out what it is.
Hey, my first original. I don't have that many MoFis, but here's one.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's a darn good one. And they actually turned it into a gatefold
Ooh.
like that.
Ooh.
Freaky psychedelia.
Did you color that?
Yeah. Well, it's one of those where you wet your finger and do this.
Oh, those kind of things. Yeah.
And then you get all their MoFi releases.
Yeah.
Getting 12 for 99
Handy dandy stuff where you can buy products that probably aren't worth anything.
Oh.
There you go.
Yep.
Okay, you get
All
that.
dried up by
And
now.
then the record is not on the original. It was the original on ABC Downhill I call them, but they didn't.
Downhill.
It's good thick vinyl. Sounds fantastic. And I wasn't looking for this. The only reason I bought is because my old copy was just getting a little hard to listen to. It had been abused. So I bought this as a replacement because it's another album that is really hard to find in the wild.
Oh yeah.
Where I live. So I figure, well, that'll do me for the next, several decades.
Yeah.
So I grabbed that. So that's really the only MoFi I've got, but I've got one of those super disc ones, Tim.
Can I ask a question about that, Paul?
Oh, get in there. Okay.
Is that the album that originally had Cast Your Fate to the Wind on it and then got taken off? And is it on there?
Yeah, it's back on there, yeah.
Okay.
There it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got Closet Queen, Bolero, and Cast Your Fate to the Wind.
Yeah.
It was Bolero that got taken off. Bolero was the one that got taken off.
Oh, Bolero got taken off? I knew one of them did because somebody
Well, my
didn't
original
like it.
copy doesn't have Bolero.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the right there. You see it.
It did get reinstated at some point after this on all of them, but I think this might have been the first one that reinstated it.
I don't know, but it was never. When I heard it on the radio, I thought, wait a minute, that's not on my record.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
anyway,
wow.
yeah, that's kind of cool. So I got Rumors on the super discs.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
That sounds good.
It's okay. I mean, I don't.
Mhm.
I thought the original sounded good too. So
It's just a rumor.
Records of that sound really
yeah,
good.
and then the others, like I find just as good, if not better. And I think I was mentioning this last on Sunday. Is the music on vinyl series?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I've got just about everything I've got from Golden Earring, which is like 30 albums, is on Music on Vinyl because they are a Dutch company. And you can actually go to line if you just go to musiconvinyl.com. You can see all the stuff they've got there. They don't sell it there, but they advertise it there. So the American Woman. Now, there's a story. Tim had a story. I have a story.
Let's all do stories.
So when I drove across Canada in the summer of 2022, I stopped in Winnipeg and stayed there on the way to Ontario and on the way back here to BC. And I went to a store called RG Records. The guy's name is Ray Jaguar, so it's RG Records.
Oh wow.
He spells it Argey, I think is how he spells it. Anyway, so I said to him, I says, I'm in Winnipeg. I got to buy a Guess Who album. So this is the one I bought.
Nice.
And how does it
It
sound?
sounds really good. I mean, the music on vinyl are fantastic. And then somewhere along the line, I can't remember where, but I picked up the Best of the Guess Who Volume 1 as well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Music on vinyl. This one's on the gold labels. Beatle Brad are colored labels, I think. Or they're not.
Colored vinyl, yeah.
I can't remember what this looks like.
Gee, let's find out.
But they are advertised as audiophile pressings. That's why I'm showing them, because they really are. They do sound quite good. People are probably very familiar with this album, but there's the the gatefold, and of course it does give you the poster.
Great album.
Which after a while they stopped doing. The poster was only issued with the first few. There's a little sleeve. That's the albums, the RCA albums they had.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then the band on the back. And then you get the I know I've shown you guys this before, but maybe others have. You get the black light poster.
Ooh, okay.
It's easy to find. It only came out with the very first pressings of the album. So they included it with the Music on Vinyl pressing, which I was really glad. I got it original too, but that was nice they did that.
The blacklight poster's cool. That's really neat. I was holding up my blacklight, but it didn't work from here.
I've got one. I haven't tried. I should try it. But it's so it's on the it's just on the orange RCA label. There's nothing special.
Oh, okay.
But how does it sound?
It sounds really good. I mean, these music on vinyls are really they are advertised as audiophile, and they are. Yeah. They're very clean.
They're good.
Very rich sounding.
I've got a Doors one, and they're really good sounding of the Doors.
Yeah, and I got another one here. I don't think it's anything special other than it's an American Woman again. It's a good heavy one, and this is like an anniversary edition, but I don't think it's a special pressing. It's just Friday music. Yeah, it doesn't say it's audiophile, which it sure sounds good. Anyway, the reason I like this album is
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is one of the prettiest albums I got. The black label with the deep blue translucent.
That's nice.
Just gorgeous. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
I'd frame that sucker.
Yeah, it's one of the prettiest albums I've got.
I'd buy that for $1.
I think the black label really sets it off.
That's really nice.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, the RCA Victor with the dog, those were only in the States. In Canada, we got that ugly orange label. So for people who bought the album originally in America, you got the nice RCA Victor dog label. What was the dog's name? The dog had a name, right?
Nipper.
What was it?
Nipper.
Nipper, right. Yeah. But that's one of the prettiest records I've seen. It's just, it's coming through pretty good on camera here, but it's such
it is.
Deep, it's almost like a ruby blue, or a ruby blue.
Yeah.
Sapphire blue. Like it's just gorgeous. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
What happens if you put that on your stereo?
From 1978.
Wow.
Still works great.
Oh my God.
That's great.
The music I put up with, I just don't.
Yeah.
Oh man, I
The
gotta
thing
do
about
Well, I got
lo-fi-
others, but like the music on vinyl, I think they've taken the whole lo-fi thing, I think, and it's more modern take on it, if there's such a thing. But I find them just as good, if not better, than the lo-fis.
Yeah.
And they're not. And they're releasing a whole bunch of different things you wouldn't expect. Like they've even released America albums on the Music on Vinyl label.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Who'd ever think of that?
They're very selective. They're not doing entire catalogs. Well, Golden Earring are, but
They've got a lot of first-time albums on vinyl too, like
yeah, they do.
Lemonheads and the Posies and Matthew Sweet and people like that are all on Music on Vinyl.
So you should go look at their website if you're curious, because they got a whole bunch of different things on there you wouldn't expect to see. And there might be something there you want to look for. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. We have a question for Paul. Hey, Paul, were the Guess Who ever on American Bandstand?
I don't think so, but I could be wrong on that. But I don't ever remember them.
They must have
the
got
thing with the Guess Who went, and I'm not saying they weren't. I just don't remember that. But the thing with them is that when they hit it big, it happened fast, and so they probably skipped right over American Bandstand, to be honest.
Mhm.
We were on Canadian Bandstand.
I'm not. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just don't remember if they were. I've never heard of that. But.
Yeah.
Oh, me.
Hi, Doc.
Yeah, I'm going to show a MoFi record. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, what do you mean? What?
Not Mo-Fi.
Not MoFi. Indeed.
Well, it could be. Just MoFi stands for something different.
That's right.
It's got MoFi.
Mhm.
Look, it even comes in a wrapper. Ooh.
I did go get my new arrivals if you want to see those.
Can we? Should we?
Sure.
Ah,
I got
We're still on all kinds of time here.
Yeah.
yeah. I thought Paul, I thought you would like the I've drawn a blank. The Who one that I was going to show on the Super Disc. I figured you'd like that.
Yeah, I don't. I've seen that. I've never bought it, but I tell you, when they remastered it in 2018, it sounds fantastic on that.
Yeah, really good. This is a German copy of the Monkees album.
Just a monkeying around.
yeah, and it's on RCA Victor too.
Yeah, RCA Victor.
Weird.
Victor Newman.
Yeah,
like
RCA
I did
in
this.
most countries.
Actually, no, this isn't part of the. That's something else. This is new.
Oh,
Dave Clark
Ooh.
5.
Oh, I like that one.
that's all live stuff.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's a trick.
But the cool thing is, it's on Capitol, which it's not really the Capitol. They weren't on Capitol in America, so this is actually a Canadian pressing.
Really?
Well, I bet you felt glad all over when you got that one.
Yeah, I went to bits and pieces too. But actually, the Canadian the Canadian ones are really hard to get.
Yeah.
And I got this.
That's because I got an embargo on them.
Yeah.
If there's a guy named Brad trying to buy this stuff, don't let him know.
Oh no.
There's the back of it.
CCR. See, that box that they did in 2018 was all remastered, and it's
Ooh, Sunny.
it's in color.
Wow.
Call it mellow yellow.
I wonder if they're the same masters they did in 2018. They probably are.
Probably.
I wouldn't think they'd remaster
So
them.
that's actually really, really nice sounding. It's good.
Yeah.
It's very
Keep
nice.
that up down on the corner.
Yeah. This is actually kind of hard to get. This is a bootleg.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
Bootleg.
yeah.
The record. Actually, this is kind of neat because I mean they really kind of went all out to do this because I mean here they did a special sleeve for it,
Ooh.
and it even comes with a record.
What?
Oh, hey, that's interesting.
It just keeps on going.
Yeah.
There's your listings. And as if that wasn't enough, and I know Jeff is saying it is. It's a gatefold, but then it's got a 24-page booklet too.
Ooh, what? Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's kind of neat. Actually, that's a good one. It's not bad, you know.
Yeah. Oh, Brad, hold on. We've got breaking news. Breaking news. I have to interrupt. We have breaking news.
Those stupid things.
I'm sure they're all okay though, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure they are. Yes.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing.
Not supposed to walk on glass.
Especially the ones that willingly just jumped off.
Yeah, really. Then there's this one.
Cosmos.
Cosmo.
Yeah.
Well, that'll drive you up around the bend.
Is somebody writing this for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Lou Christie has passed away.
Yeah, I'm gonna fire him.
Ooh, cherry red. Wow.
Yeah, lightning struck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor old Lou.
So we have to do a ranking of all the Lou Christie albums.
Mm-hmm. There's quite a few.
I got a couple more and I'll be done.
Okay. He was the same age as Brian Wilson, 82.
Uh-oh.
Paul will like this.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Spend the night together. Oh yeah.
It's a DVD too.
It's a movie.
That's a pretty small record.
What sort of a movie is this?
Stone.
No, but I mean, is it live? Is it, what is that?
Yeah, I think that was, isn't that what they called it? One of their tours?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was an album.
This was actually very rare.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And it's also
Go-Go was the single from that album.
Oh yeah, it could be the cover version. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's also Canadian pressing.
Yeah, I can tell it's got the glossy label.
Yeah. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
I got a few CDs, but yeah, I'll stop with that.
Okay.
Ta-da!
Ta-da.
Time to go to sleep.
Yeah. Either that or it's time to play a commercial.
It's commercial time. Yeah.
Okay.
You want out?
You know what I'm thinking about, Leo?
Here we go again.
A donut.
A donut.
A fresh donut.
Just had a pickle.
A hot, fresh donut. It's in the cupboard, Leo. Hurry. A hot, fresh, delicious, sizzling, yummy donut.
Cream cheese with mussels.
Now, with new donut squares, you can have a hot, fresh-tasting donut whenever you're in the mood for one.
You're so good to the two of us, Leo.
Yeah. Okay.
I've never seen that one.
No.
Make
Not
the donut.
donut squares.
But I don't know how many people have toasters next to their bed either.
No.
That's a Pop-Tart. That's not a
Yeah,
donut.
with a thing on it.
Yeah.
Donut.
That's a
Cut the middle out of it.
Donut, Leo.
I thought Paul went to go get some. That's why he was
Oh
going.
no, because we were talking about the James Gang, and there's my original copy of the album.
Oh yeah.
You see that Bolero is not listed.
Yeah.
Aha.
It's just Closet Queen and Cast Your Fate to the Wind.
Wow.
So That's not because the OG, the very first pressing, it was on it, and then it got pulled. They got sued or
I
something.
don't know why they did that.
Well, no, because somebody owned the rights to Bolero, and they didn't
Oh,
get
okay.
permission to
Ravel
use it.
guy.
They took it off. That's
This
what it
is
was.
like, for anybody who hasn't heard this album, that the Bomber is just like it's a very long song, but you got to listen to it on the headphones because the music is going like this throughout the whole thing, going for back and forth. You can actually physically feel it crossing your head. It's really
Really?
Oh yeah, it's a really cool feeling. Yeah, it's one of the first albums to do that. And of course, Joe Walsh is such a phenomenal guitar player. It's all just going, he gets into these weird effects and they're just bouncing across your head like this. Is really cool. You've got to listen to it on headphones.
Wow.
In the late 70s, that drew attention because of the movie 10, which featured Bolero, and people wanted that version of the song and they couldn't get it because it had been taken off the album, and so the album got some attention around the 10.
Oh wow, Paul, do you think the CD would have just as much of effect as the vinyl, or do you think the vinyl would be?
Well, yeah, because it's in the mix. It's in the stereo mix, so I don't know why it would be any different. Really. Yeah, it's the way they mixed it. So
nice.
Unless they mixed it out, but I don't know why they would do that because it's part of
That's
the
dumb.
Well, it's kind of like the Dark Side of the Moon, where it goes back and forth.
Yeah, same kind of idea. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. At the beginning with the screaming going on and stuff. Yeah.
All the steps, hear them stepping.
These days they're getting rid of that. That's why they're remixing the Beatles. They didn't like the stereo, so now they're remixing it. So
my brother was hugely into Pink Floyd. I mean, kind of like me with Beatles, and he went backstage and met all of them during one of the concerts. He went to many of them, but he took his Wall album and had all of the band members from Pink Floyd sign his album.
Neat.
So when my brother passed away, I said, can I have? Because he met all kinds of rock stars, and I said, can I have that album? And she said, well, it's too late. I already took it to Goodwill.
Oh.
Where?
I said, you gotta be kidding. You took it to Goodwill? And she said, yeah. She said, I have no use for it. I don't have a record player. I'm like,
women.
I went with my brother to go meet the Police backstage, and they signed an album for him of all of the members of the Police. That went to Goodwill also. He met a lot of people. I mean, he met Herb Albert and the whole Tijuana Brass.
The whole Albert gang. Yeah.
I mean, he had a bunch of albums signed that he just took with him, and all of that went to Goodwill. I couldn't believe it.
And then you rushed off the Goodwill to see if they had sold it.
I mean, it'd be like Tim going to Goodwill and he's like, "Oh my gosh, these probably are fake, but I'll buy them anyway for $1."
I ever told you guys about the time that the record store I work at got busted for bootlegs? This goes back to this conversation. That's why I'm talking about it now. We got a heads up that it was going to happen. So we went through the store and got rid of everything we could find that was a bootleg, put them in my boss's car, and he left me there to deal with the FBI. So I did. It wasn't the best day of my life. It was a pretty horrible experience. And they're telling me how I'm going to go to jail for lying, and your boss is going to get off, and you're going to go to jail for lying, and blah 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 blah. And I'm just sitting there going, I make $3 an hour and work like 1 or 2 half days a week. I don't know anything, but they're not buying it, and blah blah blah. Anyway, after they finally left, and it made the news, and a friend of mine was in the store, nice guy. I couldn't believe he did this. They kicked him out when they raided the place, and he hung out in front of the store the entire time they were there. And then when they left, I opened the store back up. They made me lock up the store and close it. He came back in, and I sat him down for beer. I took somebody out of the register. I'm like, go get some beer. And then the owner's wife sees it on the news and comes screeching to a hold up front, comes running in, and me and him are drinking a beer, and she starts going off on us. And I'm just like, Lisa, I just been through a lot. Can you mellow out a little bit? Plus, they didn't get anything. And she's like, what do you mean they didn't get anything? We got a heads up. Dave took all the records, and they're in his car. I don't know where he is. He's driving around Buffalo somewhere. And
He's on the lam.
Yeah.
They didn't get anything. But here's the thing, and this I'll get back to the point of the story. But we forgot he'd been sending people to Buffalo shows and recording them on cassette. And we forgot about those. So the entire time this FBI guy's grilling me, I've got 1 foot on one box of bootleg cassettes and 1 foot on the other box of the bootleg cassettes, and I never moved.
You'll never find them.
Oh, wow.
And he didn't even find those. They did find his private tape collection, which was all just legal stuff that he recorded and everything, and they confiscated that. That's the only thing they took, and it took him a couple of years, but he did get it back. But they didn't get like Prince live at the Buffalo Auditorium. They didn't get any of that. And anyway, so she wound up having a beer with us and mellowing out after I told her all this. But anyway, so he didn't know what to do with them. So he went to his brother-in-law, Bobby's. And Bobby didn't want him at his house. These two guys were so paranoid. So Bobby took him to this friend who wasn't quite all there, if you know what I mean's house, and asked him to keep track of them. And he did for a couple days. And then one day he looked at them and said, what are these doing here? And then so he took them all to Goodwill.
Oh.
Everything goes for Goodwill.
The entire bootleg section that we had wound up at Goodwill.
Really? Wow.
For $1.
But my boss Dave found out about this and of course was livid and went to all the Goodwill and probably got about half of them back.
Really?
You didn't have to pay for them. Explain the situation to the lady in some terms. I'm sure she didn't tell them they were bootlegs or whatever, but they're mine. And this guy's now there, and he donated them, and he got a good deal of them back, half of them anyway. But yeah, they all wound up at Goodwill. So in Buffalo in the mid '80s, you could have gone to Goodwill and found some really nice bootlegs from probably 50 cents.
Well, I guess the worst part of that would have been the strip search, right?
No, there was no strips. But there was this guy, man. There was this guy that was just grilling
the guy
me.
put on the rubber.
I was playing my own record on the turntable, and he wouldn't let me get up and take the needle off, and it's just doing this. And finally, I was like, you know what? I don't care. And I got up and I took it off. I'm like, that's my record, and you're ruining it.
Yeah.
And do that.
Yeah.
And
We're in
but here's the thing. Here's
right?
the thing. Okay, they busted 3 stores that day. They had 2 units. Okay, the first 2. There was one guy that turned everybody in. Who he got caught. He was buying his boots through the mail, which is just stupid. So he had very serious mail fraud charges going against him. So he ratted out the other 2 stores he knew about that sold bootlegs. Ours was one of them. It's to get his charges lowered, right? So what did they do? They got to bust him because he's the guy they caught. So they bust him and another guy, the other guy, in the morning, and then they go to lunch. And while they're at lunch, we get this anonymous phone call. It was a woman. We think we know who it is. It was a guy's wife that owned the other record store. And it just said, get rid of everything you have now. That's all it said. And she hung up. And
wow.
Like, what the hell? And he realized what she meant. And we went through the store really quickly, boxed up everything that we could find, and off he went and left me there. And I'm like, I'm scared to death. I know they're coming. You know, I'm just scared to freaking death. And here they come. Literally black cars. They all got big walkie-talkies, just all wearing black suits. Just what do you expect the FBI to look like?
Men in Black.
Oh, God.
That's some story. I haven't heard that one.
Yeah. That was my big FBI bust.
I've heard that story. That's
Oh, then it was on the news. They got started on the news. The guy out front's waving. You see me on the news sitting on a stool while they're screwing me. They're outside filming, and then there's the guy that hung out the whole time's waving at the camera.
Just be thankful Neil Young wasn't involved.
Oh yeah. Well, no, you know what this was? It was Springsteen. It was Springsteen that was behind the bus because his I don't know if you guys know about this, when he was recording what's the album The River. When he was recording The River, his masters got stolen. And he had to do a lot of again. That's why there's a couple live tracks on that album. He's like, I don't want to do this again, and we got good live versions. We'll just put those on it. But this man, so he was all up in arms about the bootleggers, and so he got the FBI to, start cracking down, and it was Springsteen's fault.
Wow.
But they did get us on one count. They got everybody on one count because they weren't complete idiots. They sent somebody in a day or two before to buy one bootleg from each store. So they had one count no matter what.
They had evidence. We have the evidence.
That's all and then that's why they were really pissed, because they'd been to our store. One of them, they knew that we had stuff.
They gave you the boot.
It wasn't there. So they were not happy with me.
You're lucky you didn't get the strip search, buddy. They were. The guy puts on the rubber gloves, man. He's going to check everywhere.
Those CDs can be hiding anywhere.
LP. I don't think I could fit an LP up there.
Yeah. Back when I was buying bootlegs, I had to go to the back room of my record store. We used to go to the back room to buy them back in the late 70s.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I have a buddy of mine, high school buddy. He's got all kinds. He was a Led Zeppelin junkie, right? And he wanted to get every Led Zeppelin bootleg that was ever put out. Yeah, I think he didn't get halfway there. He got a good way there. Anyway, he's got a whole pile of these things, and I used to ask, where do you get these? He said, well, you got connections. Yeah, okay. How come I never see these? Oh, you got another 8 people. Okay.
This connection.
And record shows were selling them too, but I've seen record shows get busted. I was there once for a bust.
Yeah, I've been to a record show that got busted.
Show, they weren't after bootlegs. They were after bootleg video at the record show I was at. They left records and CDs alone. They wanted video.
Yeah, I've been to one where they come in. It's scary when those guys come in to bust up the record shows. It's actually kind of scary because you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
Yeah. And when they come banging on your door, you better be ready.
Please search warrant!
You almost feel like telling them to just, why don't you go out and stop real crime? Like, it's just like, honestly.
He's serving 90 days in jail for bootleg and stuff.
Oh.
Be forewarned, kids.
I mean, for years, bootlegs were hard to get.
Well, it blew wide open when CDs came out, because then all of a sudden, you get all this stuff on CD. Guys,
you're right.
Making them in their basements, like everybody was making them, right? So
all
of a sudden, there's like all these CDs. Like in the 90s, I bought a whole ton of Beatle bootlegs, all the different outtakes and stuff. So when the anthology came out, it's like, I already got this stuff.
Yeah. Especially like when the Backtrack series came out, that was the first one where those things sounded better than the actual CDs. And it's like, well, wait a minute. How are they doing this? Why does this sound better on an outtake than it does on the real version?
Like the Unsurpassed Masters, those are terrific series too.
Well, some of them are and some of them aren't. All the Backtracks were good. They were
Backtracks are really good.
Phenomenal. But before that, there was what were they called on vinyl? They had a different name on vinyl. There was 3 volumes on vinyl. Yeah,
there you go. There you go.
You mean
Yeah.
like
My volume 1 is blue. My volume 1 is blue, not red.
I've
But
seen it in blue.
covered everything.
Now I've only got 3, wasn't it? Was there 4 or 5?
I only know of 3. I only have 3.
Oh, okay. But this stuff blew me away when I heard it.
And they came out on vinyl first.
Original Strawberry Fields, all that
pretty
stuff.
much the same on vinyl.
I got this series, the Posted series. Well,
Which one?
the Condor series. You guys seen these?
No, I don't know about that
They're
one.
like 7 different CDs. There's. Well, here, let me do an order. You got Not for Sale.
Okay, I had that on vinyl.
Dig It.
I had that on vinyl. Those
Yeah, I
were
was
two
gonna
of
say
the
that.
really good earlier books.
Yeah, those are, so far these are all on vinyl.
This one's you can't see the title. It's Strawberry Fields Forever.
Yeah,
Um,
got that on vinyl too.
Yeah.
Not Guilty.
Got that on vinyl.
I even have a boot with that cover.
Yeah,
that cover
got
too.
that. Got that on vinyl. Yep, got that
Oh
on
yeah,
vinyl.
remember that one?
That and that one too. That's great. The one that you showed right before that, Paul. That one that was supposed to come out. They were the bootleggers did that when the Beatles rarities came out.
Yeah. Well, I think and it's got. Well, they were going to do the sessions. Remember, there's the Beatles sessions LP that was supposed to come out.
Yeah.
It never did.
Yeah.
But this got actually more on that than that planned album. Come on, focus.
They give you more for your money.
Yeah, in the early 80s, just stuff started coming out that was suddenly bootlegs weren't crap anymore. Suddenly
But CDs
sounded
blew the
good.
doors open because everybody could now pop these things out, right? And things just went nuts.
Well, not at first. It was about 1990 before you could make a CD at home. CD still had to be pressed until about 90 or 91. So it wasn't like it was easy to do. In fact, it was really hard to do in the beginning because there were only a couple of CD plants in the world.
The thing I didn't like about when when you started to make your own CDs, I was upset because cassettes you could do 120, and then the CDs were only 80 minutes.
Yeah, those are the ones I was thinking about. Those were the first ones that were really, really good.
Yeah,
those are good.
Volume 1 and 2, 3 and 4.
Yeah, those are really good
Once
series.
again, my 1 and 2 has a
and
different
these are
cover.
good. Like the tracks are really good quality.
Yeah,
my 1 and 2 has a different cover, but I have the same.
Yeah, I've seen it on a different cover too. Yeah.
That's the exact same ones I've got.
My 1 is. Hang on, I'll get my 1. My 1.
Yeah, it's more like these ones, Tim, with the white banner across the top, I think. But I picked these up pretty cheap too. Actually, my record store had all 3 of them. And I thought, well, shit, I'm going to get those.
How cheap were they?
Oh, I don't remember, but I mean, compared to what you would have paid before Anthology,
Oh yeah.
But I mean, look at all the takes of Strawberry Fields Forever.
Oh no.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it's not on here, you don't really need it, kind of thing. But they're pretty cool. I remember picking these up in the 90s, early 90s.
Oh okay.
Yeah, so that's totally different, right? Is it is it the volume 1 and 2? Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Volume 1 and 2, yep.
Because I think they came out separately too, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. I only ever saw them like this, but
I think they came out as separate.
yeah, these were my go-to for years. As far as boots.
Oh, no kidding. No, there's some great stuff on
And Not for Sale were
No.
my go-tos.
No.
I got a CD called Off White, and it's got part of it's the Easter session, part of it is they got the Dirty Mac on there. There's just different things on it. It's called Off White.
Hi, Brad. Oh, look
Yeah,
at Brad.
got 'em too.
Hey, I was just looking at those.
Yeah.
There we go. And the third one couldn't get it in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you got the same cover that Paul has.
Same as
I have
mine,
the other
yeah.
cover.
Yeah.
And then there's here's the vinyl. I mean, I didn't grab them all, but here's the vinyl of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is great. Great. This is actually, I mean, these are this series that you've got. These are really gone up in price.
Yeah.
Then here's a single version of that one you just showed. That I've got too. This is a single set. It's actually quite nice. It's very good.
Yeah. What's the label? Is it just a
We like Yellow Dog or one of those
union label?
Oh, okay, just yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a homemade thing.
Wow.
The one that I really would like to have that I don't have
label
is the Rubber Soul one, when it's Rubber Soul, the Jewish Beatles.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
I've never gotten it because it's, every time I've seen it, it's like a $300 album now.
Rubber Soul.
Yikes.
But yeah, like even this has gone up. I mean, that's crazy.
Be careful, you might find out at the Goodwill next week.
Yeah, with my brother's stuff.
Ooh.
She even took his stereo to Goodwill and sold it. Just gave it to Goodwill also. My brother was in the electronics business, so he could get stuff wholesale.
Mm-hmm.
And so his receiver by itself was $10,000.
What?
Yeah. And his whole system was really an expensive set. I mean, the speakers were phenomenal sounding, and she took it all to Goodwill.
Oh.
But there's the backing, which is kind of neat. Yeah. So I mean, it's even got a barcode.
Oh, come on.
They even printed a fake barcode on this.
We'll fool them.
Yeah, really. Hey, well, no, it's in the bootleg section. Tim won't get busted for this album.
No, not at all. No.
So here's
remember when Kramer was trying to sell records and blah blah blah? Yeah, okay.
This will be the Easter sessions.
Yeah.
On that one.
Yep.
And then I've got this one called Off White.
Yeah, that's good. Do you have the vinyl of that or just the CD?
No, just the CDs of those.
Okay.
And it's got, I think it's got some Dirty Mac stuff on here.
It does.
And then I've got this one. This is volume 2, and I was never able to find more of this series, but it's the Ultimate Unreleased.
Those are really good.
Yeah, I've only got volume 2. But I mean, it's got like, I don't know, with that other Condor series I got, I think I've got everything on this. So anyway, that was another one that they popped out.
It's good.
Oh, by Adam 8.
Adam 8 Limited.
Yeah.
Yeah, he never could get to 9 because he was limited.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so those ones I was able to pick up. My record store was getting them in, and they wouldn't stay on the shelves long, I'll tell you. They go pretty quick with these things.
So there you go. We went from Paul McCartney's birthday to Beatles that you could look for and maybe find.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is this the one that Paul just showed?
Oh, let's see.
So I don't know. Have you?
I have that on album.
Is this the one you just showed, Paul?
No.
Oh,
I have that on album. You want to know something?
Yeah.
You guys know who Mr. Ali is?
Yes.
Part of the BC in Israel?
His
next door neighbor made that.
Oh.
I showed that on a video and he commented. He's like, that comes from my next door neighbor.
I've got the one that Paul showed, but the reason I was doing this is because here's the CD series ones you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's the other one that goes with the one that you have.
Oh, well, you need to send that to me.
Okay.
No problem.
there's that one. Then this is the other one that goes with it too.
Oh, yeah, you know.
So here, I'll have to pass them up to you.
Yeah, pass it through Jeff there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So have you seen this one? Like, this is one I bought a few years ago.
No.
Yeah, I have that.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that one.
It's
Is it a box?
260
yeah, box set. I actually forgot I had it.
It's 10 CD, and there's some really good sounding live stuff on it. And
yeah. There's
some harder to get, a few harder to get outtakes. There's only one disc of actual outtakes, I think.
From the Cavern Club there.
They're not real common
ones.
ones.
It's all really very early stuff, right?
What's the name of it?
It's called the Beatles. No, it's
Wait a minute, let me get a pen.
Yeah.
It's called Live and Rare 62 to 66.
Okay.
Rock and roll music, live and rare 62 to 66. And it's by who the heck made this?
K-Tel.
K-Tel.
Well, it's an unofficial thing. You remember, there's a while there were a bunch of stuff was coming out of Europe with all these.
No tell, K-Tel.
You know, all the splatter vinyl and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which are, you know, you don't see much of that anymore. But anyway, there's. So yeah,
you can get this on Amazon for a while.
Yeah, you could. Yeah,
it was cheap.
Really?
Yeah, it was cheap.
Yeah, I picked a couple of things.
Yeah, I've got it. Here's mine.
See, look at that.
Yeah,
and then there's this one too, which is a couple CDs less. I think this one's 8 CDs.
Okay.
But it has some different stuff on it. Some same and some
that
different.
goes back earlier. That says like 61, right? So.
Yeah, but it's not much. I think it has a couple of Tony Sheridan tracks on it. Not much.
On it.
But
No,
this one they just did this.
Oh yeah.
Pete Bell, who's that?
There's all your CDs right there.
How they should do packaging.
Yeah, so this was probably about $20. I bought this on Amazon when I bought it. And it was probably only about $20. This wasn't much more. This was probably about $25.
Yeah, but today it might be more.
Yeah. Well, they're not that old though. That's the thing. This isn't.
No, they're not.
You know, but yeah. So there's good stuff on both of them, and they're not the same sources either. So like some of the stuff might sound better on this one, and some of it might sound better on this one. They're not the exact same sources. So interesting stuff.
Better quality discs. Back again.
I think I've shown you this before. But it's actually, they actually included bonus stuff on it as well with the Hey Jude.
Hey Dude.
Yeah. But it's got everything they did on the rooftop, and this is on blue colored vinyl, if I'm not mistaken.
What?
Kind of a marble. Yeah, it's kind of a marble.
Right. Right.
And then another one from the same company is Smash and Grab, Lost in the Vaults Until Now.
Oh.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, that's a great. I love the cover of that.
Yeah, it is a neat cover. Yeah, and it's, I think,
that's a terrific cover.
It's on the, not on Apple. It's on Orange.
Yeah. Orange.
How about that?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And it's pretty cool. Now I think they did more in that series, but I never.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Never was able to get them. But yeah, that's okay. It's cool stuff. And,
Oh yeah.
You know, someday they might be able to get my hands on the rest of it.
Like I said, the cover is fantastic. I love that cover.
Yeah. Orlando, Florida, made in USA. Well, who knows where it's actually made, but
Yeah.
this was
Go
good.
away, Orlando.
A lot of good stuff, like all the way through. Not Guilty's on it, Norwegian Wood, Leave My Kitten Alone, I'm the Walrus, Misery. Yes, it is. Like, it's all over the place. It's got a lot of Tomorrow Never Knows.
Yeah.
Recorded April 6th, 66 during the Revolver Sessions. A very basic track with different sound effects compared to the previously released version. So, yeah.
There you go.
Alternate takes there. Day Tripper. Couple of Day Tripper. Yeah.
Look for it today.
There you go.
Yeah. Brad, if you lived in a mansion, would you buy more music? What a silly question.
Yes.
Well, first, Brad does live in a mansion.
No.
I think he'd have a bigger train layout.
No. I've got a humble little nice house. I let the servants go by 7, so it's.
He will come back tomorrow.
I'll be back.
And hey, Tim, new Snap Crackle Pop this week?
I always try, but I haven't even. I think the mic work is done and the music is done. It's not mixed yet. I'll try. We'll
Wait until they mix.
But if you haven't heard my last one, everybody go check out my tribute to Brian Wilson. I think it's really good, and it's done really well. I made it to number 3 and pop, so I was very happy.
Push it to number 2. Right, just go to Snap Crackle Pop automatic.com.
Yes.
Yes.
So I grabbed this. These were never made in Canada. I saw them, but they weren't. These are American. I didn't. Excuse me. It's still sealed, but this is from what was it? 78, I think, 1978. They put these out.
Yeah.
They had this one in Abbey Road. I've never been able to find the Abbey Road, but I found this one day. I thought I'll grab that just for.
Well, they did 3 actually. The Abbey Road is the rarest. The rarest is Band on the Run.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's McCartney.
Yeah, they did 3: Band on the Run, Sgt. Pepper, and Abbey Road.
So yeah, I grabbed that. This is still sealed. I don't know what's on the other side. Could be the drum. I don't know.
It's the drum. Yeah.
Sort of like what they did when they did the official. Well, I guess this is official. It is Capitol.
Yeah. It's official. It's definitely official.
Mm-hmm. The question was, were those made in Japan?
No.
Mine's no.
I'm sorry, I don't speak Japanese.
They would have sounded much better if they were made in Japan. Actually, there's nothing wrong with the mastering on it. It's just that it's a picture disc, so it's very snap, crackle, poppy. If you used a filter and took the snap, crackle, pops out, they're actually. I have worse sounding versions of Sgt. Pepper than the picture.
This one's pressed in California.
Aha.
But yeah, the picture discs don't sound good. Even the new ones, like the new Sgt. Pepper, I played that picture disc. It doesn't sound that good either.
They're just noisier. But as far as the process, mastering and stuff, it's fine. I have an Australian Sgt. Pepper that sounds way worse than my picture disc. It's a regular record. It just doesn't sound good.
Beatle Brad has come into the room with another handful
of more stuff. Yes.
More stuff. What kind of stuff have you brought, Beatle Brad?
I got some more stuff.
Beatle Brad's back.
This is the one that Paul showed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But in bootlegs, they even have limited edition bootlegs.
No kidding. What could it be?
I think they're all limited edition. That's the whole
thing. Was that white?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But
I've got another version of it that was released when the Let It Be reissue was done as well. And
I've got it, but I grabbed the wrong one. I've got another one, but it comes with a poster.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think that's the one I've got.
Yeah, it comes with a poster. Let me put this back. But yeah, that's the one you're talking about, is this one. But yeah, like I said, I was hoping to show you the poster as well because the poster's really
Yeah,
cool.
is that the one, Brad? The Get Back one?
Yeah. But yeah, that's the one you were talking about, that one. And then you were talking about this one, being in the series.
Yeah.
So I'll show you which ones that came. I grabbed just a few of them. There's a lot of them in the series. Like this is the one of them.
Yeah. Okay.
That's also got the orange.
It's on the Orange Records.
This was part of the series. Sorry about the glare.
Yeah. Interesting. So they're all on orange vinyl?
I think so.
I'll have to look for more.
Oh, no, I take it back. This one's on blue.
Okay. Same series, though, eh?
Yeah.
I'll have to see if I can find more of those.
That's part of the series.
Yeah. Interesting.
And I think this one's not part of the series, but you were showing this earlier.
Yeah, I got the CD.
Yeah, I have that. I was gonna pull it and then went. Nah.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
Yeah.
This is part of that series.
Yeah. So that'd be probably Escher demos of it.
Paul, you better have all of these by next week. We want to see them.
Yeah.
Start shopping.
Yeah.
This is part of the series.
Yeah.
I think there's two more left. There's that one.
Pieces of 8. That's a Styx album.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
Yeah. Pieces of 8. Pieces of 8.
Doc the Parrot.
Who's the parrot?
And I think there's like two more, but I didn't grab 2 or 3 more. But anyway, there's that one, and then. But yeah, there's a bunch of these. I mean, these are crazy.
Rare.
Rare.
Oh.
So here's the other one from the rooftop.
Yeah. Is that the one with the poster?
Yeah, it's got a couple. Yeah, it's got a poster and a picture sleeve inside. But yeah, so this came out when they just after the reissue of Let It Be. So I grabbed this because it doesn't have any bonus material. It's just the rooftop.
Yeah, but have you seen the price of that on eBay lately?
No.
You can make a car payment.
This is the inner sleeve.
Yep.
And then you get a small poster.
Ooh.
So it's pretty cool. And then you get the so it's a bootleg, but it sounds fantastic. I mean, this is
different than mine.
This is taken right from the Niagara camera.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, yours. Well, wait a minute. Yours is different than mine, I think.
Somebody vomited on mine, but
you gotta watch those dogs of yours, Paul.
yeah, I think that's what I got again, or the cat. But that's the record. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool vinyl. This sounds good. It's good sound on this. Yep.
Oh, Brad wants to get his.
Until they make it official, this will do. I still say they make it official.
Hang on, I'm getting ready. I thought I would show some old bootlegs since everybody's been showing.
Yeah, I used to love the old bootleg covers. They're just so basic.
They are. That's why because a lot of people might not know,
No, they
weren't all. I'm just taking them out of the plastic, so I don't have all the
Which ones are these?
I'm just showing some older ones that I have.
Where'd all our viewers go now that we're showing stuff?
They're all
gone to call the FBI.
One of my favorites I forgot to grab, but
knock knocking at Tim's door.
There we go.
Those old covers kind of make you laugh, right? It's just so funny.
It's just a piece of paper, and you only hold the piece of paper and it's a shrink. You see a lot of them with tape on them. I've got them because once the shrink came off, then you had to do something with the label. So, and then this is pretty terrible sounding. Ed Sullivan Show, CBS Studio.
Yeah, those are terrible.
This is a really old one.
I
I
got
love the tape around it.
And yeah, but that's what you had to do to keep. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, no, you're right though. Yeah.
You
That's what
spent
people did.
$30 for that.
This is a famous one actually. Spicy Beatle songs.
Spicy.
And I haven't. Nobody's been showing labels. I'll show one label here.
I showed a label.
There you go. There's a label.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Is it different on the other side?
Well, most of them.
Yeah, there's a
some
2.
writing
Somebody handed
stuff
it
on
wrote a 2 instead of a 1 on the other side. And this is actually early 80s. That's still fairly early.
Yeah.
And this is no, actually this might be late 70s. This is just the B-sides and non-album tracks. This is actually all release stuff. It's solo. But you got like Deep Blue and early 1970 and stuff like that on here that you couldn't get. This is an 80s one, Spare Parts.
Yeah, I've got that one. That's actually kind of a good one. Sound quality is not the greatest.
Another one came out about the same time, Indian Rope Trick.
Yeah, I've got that.
Yeah, that's a famous one.
Is yours on colored vinyl? Because they came out.
No.
Mine's in pink.
No, it's not.
Yeah, mine's pink vinyl.
Look at the snazzy label it has.
Yeah, that's neat.
Great live concerts.
And
dogs like it too.
This is again solo stuff. A lot of rare at the time. A lot of the Double Fantasy demos are on this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And like there's a live version of Junior's Farm on this, which McCartney rarely did it live, so that there's interesting stuff on this. It's not terrible. And then this is
pretty terrible.
This is arguably this isn't an original because the original was in black and white, but this is maybe the first Beatle bootleg. It's arguable, but it's one of the very first Beatle bootlegs.
With Jimmy Nicol. No.
The original cover was in black and white, and they colorized it.
Good job.
Wet your finger and rub it on there.
And this is a pretty rare concert from '63, and then some BBC sessions on the B side, Youngblood. I was growing up, but you know what? It's not bad actually.
It's not bad. You're right. Yeah.
You can get this concert. This is an off booted concert, and it's an early one.
It's pretty good. I've got it too. I like it.
Yeah. I hated it when I first got it, but I've grown to really like that one a lot. And then there's this, which is one of the first boots I ever bought.
Yep.
Oh.
That one.
It's mostly BBC, but there's a couple Decca tapes on here, and there's the TV version of Revolution. It's a very odd sort of set list.
Yeah. That's the David Frost one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is on, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's on a red label with silver print.
Yeah.
Not bad. For a bootleg, a pretty nice label.
Yeah.
And then one more. This is one of the other first ones I ever bought. This is an Abbey Road.
Yeah, that's a pretty famous one, too.
That's a good one.
Called Abbey Road number 3, I think. And this is
Oh,
the
yeah.
one. Side 1 is Abbey Road outtakes, and side 2 is McCartney and Donovan. And I think Mary Hopkins is there hanging around too.
Yeah, she's on it too.
Where's she catch?
You got that song Heather on it, which Heather's really good. And this is not my original copy. I wound up selling my original copy, and this is the replacement. Kind of different label. I think this is newer than the original one I had.
The replacement.
It sounds worse.
That's just some of no, but this Abbey Road stuff is actually really good quality. The tape is stretched at one point, unfortunately. See, there's a little
But it
things
is
like
good
that.
sound.
But it's got like a 7-minute version of something on it, and it's just the original medley, You Never Give Me Your Money medley, which is basically just Paul on piano and Ringo, and somebody might be playing a few notes on bass, but it's pretty basic. Pretty good stuff. That's all I grabbed. That's enough.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I had like when they did the reissue Beatles, they always did picture disc, but they didn't for the White Album. So anyway, I got online and I found the bootleg version of the picture discs. And I haven't played them, but I'm just going to assume they don't.
Mm. He's got a hole in his nose.
Yeah, it's a zit. So I don't know why they didn't do this when they did the White Album. Why they didn't release the picture disc version, unless they figured it would be too expensive. I don't know, but I thought it was a missed opportunity because I think they're pretty cool.
Look at those.
Anyway, they're bootlegs, but
they look pretty cool.
Yeah, these have gotten really expensive now as well online. They've gotten crazy in price, but yeah. Anyway, so there's those. That's it. That's all I'll show because we're getting close to 7.
I know. Oh, Beatle Brad has left us. Where has he gone?
Not here.
Beatle Brad's not here.
Oh,
Brad's not here.
You have to start over again, Paul.
I was just showing these.
Oh, wow.
Those things.
That's really cool. Do you get the John and the John and George, or
John and Paul and George and Ringo.
Yeah.
I got the George and Ringo as well.
There you go. Hey, looky here.
There you go.
Whoops, wrong button. See, aha.
and the George and Paul one.
See? They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
I just printed them while he was talking.
Yeah.
The Xerox machine was running.
But they're getting harder to find these ones. And they're not.
You ought to look these up on eBay. You want a sticker shock? Look these up.
I know they're crazy. I got mine. I think it was on. It could have been eBay, or it was either eBay or Discogs. And I mean, they weren't cheap, but they've gone crazy since I bought them. And I wouldn't buy them today. Like they're gone.
No, I wouldn't either.
They've just gotten too expensive. But they should have, again, another missed opportunity, I think, unless they just figured it would have been too expensive.
There's this one that you're showing.
Yeah.
But I think mine's different than yours.
How different is it, Brad?
So you're talking about Let It Be and Get Back. There's my Let It Be's and Get Back.
Yeah.
Those are bootlegs. Those aren't the albums.
Just a few.
And of course, I got the Black album too, which is Let It Be outtakes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so yours is orange.
I sold it like a fool.
Mine's blue.
Which is
mine was the marble brown.
Yeah, which is something. Yeah.
Yeah. That's okay.
And then here's the poster.
Yeah.
Come on.
Won't rip it.
So your poster's different than mine.
Yeah, it is.
You've got the special one.
Well, it folds down. It folds down again. So I've got, it's larger.
Yeah, so mine's more of a collage of things. That's interesting that they're different.
I wonder if yours is Canadian.
Hey?
Hey.
I don't know. They might have just mixed them up. Like they did different colors on the vinyl. So
There's the inner.
yeah, I think that's the same. What's the other side? Well, that might even be different.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Surprise! I tell you, another good one is
like box of Apple Jacks.
I love this.
Not Apple Jacks. What's that?
Says import.
Yeah. Yeah, original acetate, yeah.
What do you mean Electra?
Yeah.
You heard on Electra. Oh, that tearing sound. Oh.
I know. But this has got a real unusual. It's got a like a real different texture of the jacket. It's got like ripples through the whole thing, and it's almost like leather.
Oh yes, I can feel it.
Yes, can you see it?
Wow, it's bumpy.
And it's numbered too, I see.
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Somebody barfed on yours too.
Oh.
Be careful.
After the 8-piece soup.
Yeah.
Perfect for soup.
Then let's see. Did you get this one that was?
Oh.
Oh, interesting. No, I don't have that.
I remember seeing that. I never had it.
This is great. Look at this back cover.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of neat. I mean, they're nicely done.
Yeah, they do. They do a nice job on them these days, for sure. It's pretty competitive. I think they have to.
I'm more impressed by older ones that are nicely done though, because they're farther and fewer between.
They got their charm.
I'll just show two more and then I'll quit.
Okay.
There's this
Really?
one.
Okay.
Oh, that's the Glyn Johns.
Mm-hmm.
No, but it's not. It's a. Well, I messed that up.
It's not a Glyn Johns yet?
No, it's a bootleg of it. And when you bought the album,
Well, yeah, but it's still a Glyn Johnson.
it came with a CD of it too.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, Brad, what don't you have in your collection that you want to get?
All my Canadian albums.
Yeah, I'm gonna be at Paul's house next week.
Yeah.
There's a few Paul McCartney albums I'm still looking for.
Yeah.
On vinyl. All right, let me show this one and then I'll quit. So
Yeah, the Rooftop should definitely be released as a separate album. There's no question.
Yeah.
Just because of its historic significance alone, I think warrants it.
I kept this one still in the shrink because I see a shrink.
Still all shrunk up.
Yeah. I mean, they do such a
I was in
nice.
the pool. I was in the pool.
Yeah.
Well,
Twickenhams.
Here's an idea. Instead of remastering everything to death constantly, what if, like, every once a year they did a Beatles live series?
Yeah.
There's enough shows around that are good enough quality that could be fixed up with the technology they have now to sound really good.
Yeah.
And maybe do like 8 or 10 of them. The last one could be the Rooftop.
That would be neat. Well, let me show you this. This is.
I'd love to hear the Shea Stadium concert on a record. That would be awesome.
What?
Yeah, I mean that kind of thing.
That's cool though, isn't it?
Ooh.
I just want to hear John and George breaking up, and I'm down. That's
Yeah.
It's so funny to watch.
That's cool vinyl though. It's like a colored tin purple.
I thought it was an outer space.
No, it's like foil wrap.
Yeah. Reynolds wrap. Let's see if there's any others. I mean, I've got a bunch more. I mean, like these, and let me see if there's another Let It Be. I mean, these are all Let It Be stuff and Get Back. Tim, you'll like this. Talking about stories earlier, we were talking about.
I like stories.
I do too. I bought this.
Oh yeah.
Sweet Apple. That's another famous one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that. I don't know if I still do or don't at this point.
So I bought this and didn't think anything of it. It's one of the earliest Let It
Yeah.
Be Boots.
Yeah, that was as good as you could get before the Black Album came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this came out, and you guys know all that, the 2 records. But here's the cool thing about the one I got, which I didn't realize it. It came with 2 posters.
Ooh.
Which I didn't know at all.
Wow.
Until I got home.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing.
Golly. So if I don't tear this.
Careful.
Well, if you tear it, then you're going to have 3 posters.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, more if you tear it.
I'm not going to open it up, but there's one part of it.
Chicken.
There's the other part. Yeah, I'm not going to open it. I got afraid of
They're
tear.
being barred.
Ask a silly question. What does that poster have to do with the Get Back sessions?
Nothing. It's probably the guy who had that album before, and he probably just stuck his posters in.
Oh,
there,
okay. I thought they came with it, and I'm like, well, that's kind of
yeah, but it's got nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And this is kind of cool.
Ooh, okay.
That is neat. Yeah.
But I mean, to get the posters with it, I was just like, oh my gosh.
Welcome to Rolling Stones.
Some of the stills from Help there. Interesting.
And like I said, it even comes with a record.
Ooh.
Oh, bonus.
That's a
2 records.
What?
I love it when records come with records.
Yeah.
But he even had more in here.
I bought it just for the swag.
Yeah, I know. So here's like original ads.
Yeah.
Oh, Susie Parker.
Everybody
Here's
gets
another
done.
one.
Yeah.
I know, born doc.
In color.
That's kind of neat.
It's colored.
It's colored too,
Yeah. Beatles may reunite for concert. Oh, tell me.
Oh, please. And then he had this in there. So, I mean, talk about surprises. I mean, I didn't know any of that was in there. He made me small now.
I bought a copy of First Press of Abbey Road once, and
Look at
had, clippings of
Oh.
the album.
Look who's here.
Look who's here.
Look who's here.
Hey, everybody.
Hey,
What's up?
no. He's been spying on you.
How's it going?
Making a list and checking it twice.
Yeah, it's going. That's Sweet Apple Track, so I'll tell you, I remember coming across that in the early O's, but they wanted way too much for that.
Yeah, that was like an early album.
Toby.
Yeah, that came out in probably the mid '80s, maybe even before that. But I remember it from the mid '80s.
Yeah, I think it came out. Oh, there's Toby.
Oh, there's Toby.
Toby.
Oh.
Toby.
Oh, you got your adoring public. Ouch! You rotten little thing. So fickle for a cat.
So be or not to be.
Oh.
Uh,
Thanks for joining us, Paul. See ya.
Very bad.
That would not be the first time that's happened.
I gotta go get some food. I'll be right back.
Okay. Great back.
What are we getting?
Well, I was just about to shut
I like
the
you like my plate.
We ran overtime.
Yeah, I know. I thought you
Are
were
you
saving,
gonna end it? I'll
saving
check for
minutes
the
like a miser all month, and now you're.
end the stream or?
Oh no, you're counting what? I don't know.
Oh yes, got it.
To do a mini show on Sunday then.
Yeah. So, like, I don't think there's anybody left watching except Lee, but and anybody who might to come later, you're welcome. Don't forget to send money.
Send money.
You know, and yeah, cash is always accepted. And,
We'll be back Sunday.
and come back Sunday for more of this nonsense. And,
Paul needs more vinyl, so buy some more for Paul.
yes, so like come back soon, won't you?
Both balls.
Yes. Bye bye, y'all.